It's nice to see you. I think, like I said, every time I'm here, I love this group. This group is my favorite group to be around and hug and see and say hi and how are you and whatnot. So thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited. You've been working probably with, well, first off, let me just talk really quickly. I just want to give you, I'll take what Mark said, kind of at the high level, but then I'll get down and dirty for you with the, well, about the information. ADE Connect, I'll demo for you the AZ Dash, and then a little bit, I've had a couple people once, Mark did a good job, didn't he? He was good this morning, he's on fire, yeah. But anyway, I'll let you, I've had several people come up and say, hey, how do I become a pilot for the statewide CIS? So I'll give you that information as well. And then make sure that Miss Nancy and the ASCUS folks, great shirts by the way, have that information so they can post it as well in case you miss it. Okie doke. All right, well, I'm very excited. Since the last time I've seen you and got to talk to you, I've been here a couple times, but I didn't get to stand up and say hey and talk to you and look at you all and whatnot. My role changed, and so I have been, my brain is about 16 sizes bigger than what it normally is because I have tried to take and be kind of like I was with the STC. I tried really hard to learn from you guys, you know, and be the expert, so if you came to me for a question, I would be able to answer it as best I could. Well, that's what I've been doing with ALIS, and that's about 6-7 products, which is about 6-7 teams at ADE, and they're all really smart IT people. And so I have a little bit of acumen of IT, but boy, is my head bigger? Because I've been learning a lot, and so, and of course I learned from you as well, you know, just like we did at STC. We didn't know, remember my saying last year, we didn't know what we didn't know? Well, we still, well, I hate to say, we don't know what we don't know. So anyway, enough about that. I brought all the team that you've been working with for the last 2 years on STC, and then the new ALIS outreach team. Now the ALIS outreach team are the folks that are just contacting, remember last year I took some bullets on we weren't contacting the right people, right? And I heard you loud and clear. So our ALIS outreach includes yourself. We try very hard to make sure that you're involved because you are the one that drives the data, and also the IT component for the ADE Connect. We reach out to the superintendent, anybody who's assessment, student level data in any type of manner, IT directors. So those are the folks that we've been reaching out to. And so hopefully the message is not just staying, you know, expected to come to you and go everywhere, or not just going up here and not going where it's supposed to go. So, so far we've reached, I think, 400 districts out of the 637 with just at least an initial email. Hey, just want to let you know this is what's coming. Congratulations on your 40, your 100, whatever. AZ Dash is available. We got to do some technical stuff with ADE Connect and whatnot, but we're rolling. We've had, let's see, 200, you guys might have to help me, 200 and some odd kickoff meetings where we bring the group together that I was just talking about and tell them and show them and demo and talk to them so the right decision makers are all in the room. And then we've connected thus far to ADE Connect about 105 districts. So we've got a long way to go with that. Some of it is, well, there's different reasons why we're not completely ADE connected across the state, but we're moving and shaking. So I want to introduce the team. So we've got Sarah Mahoney, obviously. Say hello to Sarah. We've got Helen Ocellos. Where are you? Stand up, say hello. So if you've worked with these folks, make sure that you check them out, or you know, come and say hey to check them out. Check them out. That's the way we roll. No. I'm kidding. Make sure that you know, because we know your voices, and we know names and who they belong to, but we don't know your face. And so when we see your face, then I go, oh my gosh, that's you. You know, it's exciting. Luis Morales, Luis, stand up. Luis is a brand new daddy. It was so awesome. It was awesome. It was great. When he got the call, like, can I? When he got the call finally that, you know, mommy had, the water had broke and whatnot, his eyes were like this big, you know. It was awesome. He expected to be, it was so cute. He expected, I think, to be a daddy in like 30 minutes, you know. And Sarah and I, you know, the old gal, well, sorry, but, you know, we're saying, oh, it's going to be hours, days, you know, so we're very excited for Luis. Now, the outreach team, Josephina Gamba, if you talk to her, Chris Corson, and our newest member, Gail Samuels. And then, so those are the folks that are picking up the phone, calling you, talking to you, making friends with you, those types of things, trying to understand what you're about. Because everybody's different as far as how they service their kiddos, their needs, and so on and so forth. And then we brought Glenn McMath, who is the main ADE Connect guy. Yes. A lot of you have probably talked to him. So those are the people that pick up the phone and give you a call, send you an email, hopefully take care of you and love on you, listen to you, validate you, run all over ADE Connect for an answer for you, whatnot. So I'm so happy that they're here today. Okay, so you saw this, right? This is our tagline, or our logo. This is, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it's designed to be an integrated learning and accountability system. As you can see, everything's touching one another. We've got the ADE Connect, where eventually Common Logon is going to go away. We don't have a schedule for it, but there is a project manager at ADE who is working on that right now. And what he did was inventory the Common Logon, all the applications. I think it ended up being like 89 or something that people log into. Some of them are obsolete, that people don't use anymore, so on and so forth. So that's where they are right now. They are in the review stage. You know, hey Sherry, you know, we see that your business unit is using such and such on Common Logon. Do you still need that? Do you need it to be upgraded? Does it even, in the whole scheme of AZ Eds, does it even need to be there anymore? So that's what they're doing right now. Once that happens, so the next part that will happen is they'll have to budget and plan for it, because IT costs money, right? IT costs money, so you can't just pick it up and then throw it into ADE Connect. And some of these applications really needed facelift anyway. And so why would we pick up yucky stuff and put in yucky stuff? So that's where that is right now. So don't freak out. And you'll notice it's so funny. It's so funny. ADE Connect, the direct link, if you're going that way instead of through your SIS, where is it on our homepage? It's right next door to Common Logon. I just find that, I giggled when I saw that. Anyway, so ADE Connect will be your portal to get through the Arizona Dash, which I'm going to show you some demo data today. The statewide student information, obviously, will have ADE Connect in it. And then this whole instructional improvement system. I don't know a whole lot about the instructional improvement system because there's a very large steering committee that's going on. As you can tell, that is very much an ADE business unit initiative. Think about it. This is all the education portion of it, right? Whereas some of these others are more of the data, our stuff. So it takes a little bit longer because we're changing the way that, you know, educators are doing business, and so they're being very careful and very cognizant, I guess would be the word, on how they roll that out. But just know that it's coming. Any questions on that big thing there? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about ADE Connect. How many of you have even just accessed it? Awesome. How many of you have been lovingly assigned an entity administrator role for your district? You guys are the movers and shakers, yeah. Okay. Well, what's going to happen is there's the direct link, and I'll show you why, and I'll talk to you a little bit about why there's a direct method and then why there's ASCUS. It makes sense. So what you'll do is you'll log into your student information system. You'll click on ADE Connect, whether it's a drop-down menu, an icon, a happy smiley face, whatever it is, and you'll get in and you'll use ADE systems. They say that you're going to save time because you don't have to remember another password over here, another password over there, whatnot. And Mark's goal is to build an integrated system that's robust enough that will take some of your third-party vendors and also be able to come in and integrate. Okay? That's his idea. I think it's a great idea. So we'll see how it works. Okay, so here's how it works. So there's your student information system, or how many of you use, by talking to... Wow. Well, I can talk till the days are long, but what happened? Sarah, did you do that? Okay. That says Max. Okay. I'm just curious, how many of you, well, every person in this room, I'm assuming, has a student information system, correct? Okay. Do any of you do all of the people in your entire district use your student information system? Correct. So, we had some people thinking, if the only way that they can do business is through the statewide, or their student information system, my gosh, we're gonna have to train every single person, you know, the cafeteria lady, the lunch lady, everybody on this system. Oh my gosh. Well, what we've done is we've worked with some of the vendors that are not just statewide student information systems. Anybody use, I believe it's a Tyler product called Infinite Visions for HR? Okay, that is the Tyler product that is also being worked on to provide ADE Connect. So what you could basically do is, all those people that use that system, yay!
That's a good thing.
Good, I'm glad. That's what, you know, we need, and if there's others, we're going to have to work with them, right? And we have to know. So I'll ask you.
About what?
Any of you, meaning, that was a play on the ASCUS, it was bad.
I don't have a purple shirt on.
So what we'll have to do is we'll have to work with you and figure out if that is a possibility for some of the other systems that you use that make sense. But anyway, what could happen if you do use that, you could have those folks that still are already on like an Infinite Visions type system and have them access ADE Connect that way. And those people that use statewide student, or student information system, you know, coming that way, they're going to get the same result. So just food for ponder. So whatever system it is, you log in, you click on your ADE Connect, and this whole menu comes up. One, you have AZ Dash that's available right now. It looks like there's 3 links at the moment. So it'd be SLEDS, Post-Secondary, and AZ Dash. And we'll talk a minute about that. There's Grants Management. How many of you are using Grants Management? Anybody? Okay, most likely you are accessing it through the direct link. Okay, and I'll talk to you why that is happening. You've got Move On When Reading if you've got little guys. And then you've got, if you're part of a Makisa group, they've got their own system that they're doing. They're rolling out some of these applications. But what happens is ADE Connect really has 7 magic roles, okay? These roles provide you with access and permissions to the things that you're supposed to see. So you've got superintendents, district admin. Now there's a difference there, right? Okay, so your superintendent obviously would be your superintendent. District admins might be those Director of Curriculum, Associate Superintendent, so on and so forth. Same hierarchy with the principal and the school admin. You got teachers, you've got HR that we haven't rolled anything out yet, but where might those belong? In that other system, right? Or accessed. And then you've got what's called an entity administrator. Now, each one of these comes associated to it with a role. AZ- comes with superintendent, district administrator, principal, school administrator, and teacher. So based on the role that's all the way up here, Sally teacher, when she logs in, she'll see teacher view. Hey, where's that teacher view data come from? STC! Sorry, I'm more excited, I guess, about it than you guys. I'm just finally excited that you guys, all your hard work to get it done is actually being used now, you know? Didn't we talk so much last year about ethereal stuff? Anyway, sorry. All right, so all the other things that are shown here are not one of those 7 magic roles. So you've got grants management, which is a grants manager, something like that role. You probably don't have, you know, Joe grants manager at your school assigned in your statewide, or your, I keep saying that, in your student information system as Joe equals grants manager, right? So what happened, same with Move On When Reading and same with some of these Makisas. So what happens is this entity administrator becomes very important because this is some of the things that entity administrators do. Now remember, it's all about providing access to folks, right? Making sure that folks have the right access, the permissions to see what they're supposed to see. So the entity administrator could take on a life of its own, and we'll talk a little bit more in just a second, but at the highest level, they might be a decision maker, similar to what your common logon application process is right now. Maybe it's your business manager who makes the decision that yes, and so on and so forth, that, you know, Sally teacher can have this access or whatever. And then, right, then you have to go to AD support, hey, get in there, right? It's kind of crazy that we're managing your roles. You know who needs to do what. Why do we need to know that, right? So we're given the access and all that decision-making power where it belongs, to you guys. It's also, the entity administrator is the communication link between ADE and LEA. This is hugely important. This is the way that we're going to use and communicate with folks saying, hey, entity administrator for Sholo, we want to let you know, or for the whole state, we want to let you know that application such and such is coming out and will be available through ADE Connect on this and this date. Here's the name of it, here's what it does, here's the roles that are associated to it, and here might be some suggestions in your district of people that might use this. Then you can take, or these decision makers or entity administrators can decide, oh, okay, we have a new application, we need to give it to, you know, Johnny, Bobby, Susie, whatever, and then you make sure that happens inside your management system. And it also could be the doer. Now, is that spelled right? I don't know, it looks funny. But you know what I mean. Okay. Why do we have these guys? Well, what happened was ADE Connect rolled out before these roles had been, if you will, implemented. And so we allowed this to roll out, and some of it with different roles. And so the only way to give those applications to those folks in your district or charter that need those is to assign Sally equals grants manager, and you do it inside what's called the entity administrator portal. Has anyone had to do that yet? Okay. You still log in through your system. You click on an entity, and you'll see it in a second because I'm going to demo some things. You still click on your student information system or whichever system. You click on AD Connect, and if you're an entity administrator, you click on the entity administrator role, and it opens up like a menu of adding people and assigning rights. So does that make sense? All right, so entity administrator, there's no limit on the number of EAs an LEA can have. You can have 50, you can have 1, you can have, you know, whatever you want. You can have 1 at each school, you can have 1 for the entire district. However you want to do it is fine. It doesn't matter. It's your management of your access, right? The assignment of EAs might mirror your current common logon process, and I told you that just a minute ago. Now the thing here, if you'll notice, no application is assigned this EA guy. So as it stands right now, no application are assigned to an entity administrator. Like if you're an entity administrator, you have this application to do or whatnot. You have what's called the entity administrator portal. And that portal is where you go in and you do the management and whatnot. Usually it's only used, I should have the word usually here. Usually it's only used in instances of unique roles such as that grants management, move on to reading, and anything perhaps funky that comes out that doesn't have one of those roles. We're trying very hard to keep it simple and only use those 7 roles, but maybe just it doesn't work, right? Excuse me. And it also, at the current, if you must be attached to each site within the LEA as a district administrator, because just because you're a district administrator at the entity ID that's the district, doesn't mean that you have entity administrator rights throughout that. Make sense?
No.
So you'd have to be an entity. Now, you could have, excuse me, you could have an entity administrator who's at the district level, and maybe you have principals who are entity administrators at, you know, the site, whatever. The thing is that we're kind of, it's like, here, we're giving you, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Just give you
Entity administrator has rights to.
I don't remember, but you know what? You're going to see it when I remember. You're going to see it. Because it'll be like, oh! I'll tell you. Anyway, don't worry, it'll come out somehow. All right. Oh, I know what it was. It's kind of like ginkgo biloba. I need more. Okay. So it's kind of like, here, John, I'm giving you this clicker. And what is happening right now is ADE has done a very good job of training how to use that entity administrator portal. We have trainings twice a week. They're on our website, so on and so forth, and you can learn how to do that. We also have on demand or live. So you can do it either way that you want. But what we haven't done, and that we have an opportunity, is I've just given John this clicker. Okay, now figure out how to use it. And so what part of me and the outreach team, the A-list folks, are really trying to help you understand, because, you know, Ronnie and Brian's solution might be totally different than Bev's, right? Of how they want to use this. So that's the job, thank you. That's the job of what we're trying to help you with. Your vendor has done a great job of supporting you on the technical documentation and things that you need to do, but that's part of our role right now, is to really help you and just tell you about it so you can say, okay, here's what it does. You know, kind of like what Mark was saying, we're not just gonna give the box to you and go, see ya. So we're trying to help you implement it, because everybody's going to be a little bit differently, but it is very important that you really think about it, because it's going to change the way you do business, and it'll change the way people have access to the things that they need. So, I want to hear from you guys. There was a couple folks I emailed in advance. Would you just, what I want to do is, let's hear it from you guys. You know, if you have implemented ADE Connect, just give us a quick, 30-minute, 1-minute, 5-minute, whatever, scenario of how you've done it. Okay, Bev. Bev was one of the first ones that implemented it completely. So we spent a lot of time with Bev and learned a lot from Bev. So thank you very much.
So we're Infinite Campus, and we have the plugin right in there, and we just deployed it to all of our users and did what we call the soft release. Means it just showed up one day on their screens and people could start poking it. So it's been really nice. When you talked about messaging, Lori, and saying how we're going to train and all this, and that's always such a huge task, the soft release has been so nice. You hear people say things like, oh, we went there and found our school report card, without, no one ever trained them, they just click. So I figure if grandmas are doing email, and you know, my mom is doing shopping on Amazon, the training piece, it's really so fluid and so easy to use. We threw it out, people are using it, and I'm really, really happy with it. So thank you, Lori, for making those dashboards available, and our teachers are happy with it. I'm anxious to be able to send my data real time, because right now we have an authenticated 100th day, right? So guess what kind of schedules we're looking at? 40th day. So once I can authenticate 100th, but I hear Lori's going to like make it real time, right? So all my data is real time, and my teachers are looking at real stuff.
Mark just tells me what to do.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's been very good. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So,
Thank you. So what they did was, you know, they did a soft release. That's how they put their ADE Connect together and decided to roll it out. Anybody else? Or do you have plans that you would like to share? Because these folks, you learn from each other, right? So, anybody else?
Laurie,
Yes?
how do I know if I have a log on for ADE?
Have we,
I don't know if I
okay, Liz, have you, who's your vendor?